Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. Found some other reason to be back talking to you. And I'm trying to continuously expose the evils in the world. I'm trying to expose those who are carriers, agents, perpetrators of evil, so that you can be aware of what you are dealing with each and every day. And at the same time, I like to share with you the message that you have not heard. The message that you have heard allowed you to give in to the evils of this world as a protection for survival. Well, even though it's not guaranteed, you still resist the truth. And the truth you have not had that many occasions to hear. But right now, I want you to know that what's happening in Ukraine, these people, my friends, they represent goodness. Oh, yes, many of them are running for their lives, but others are staying there, and the leadership is doing exactly what goodness would actually do. First of all, I want you to, in America and other peoples of the world, to know that this goodness did not just start at this war, it started in resisting that bully tactic of Donald Trump, ex-president of the United States, who wanted to introduce corruption as these guys came into power in Ukraine to get rid of corruption. And Donald Trump offered them an opportunity to engage back in it for Donald Trump's benefit, another agent of evil. And yes, my friends, they stood up against Donald Trump. And right now they got to stand up against a bigger evil, the evil of Russia. And you know what? There's no one to help them be victorious. The whole world sit back and do anything to give them some staying power until they all wiped out, but nothing to be victorious. And so if I had to pray, my prayer would be for the invisible power of love, to show these Ukrainians some love. Show them some real love. Show them the heartlessness of the world, the heartlessness of evil and servants like Putin. And when I think about Merrick Garden, justice representative, to some he should be ashamed the way he has allowed all of this, what Americans know, every American knows how corrupt Donald Trump is. They have seen everything that he's been doing. Even those that support him all the way know he's lying, know he's a crook, know he's done and violated every rule and regulation that the country has held above him, and still is outside getting away. And this should be an affront to every person in these jails and prisons in the United States, that justice is corrupt. I'm speaking to the Department of Justice right now. The way you have handled Donald Trump since he has been in office is an affront to all of the justice-seeking people in this country, especially those that you got locked up in prison, while your crooked hand allowed these other big, what you say, not above the law, to be above the law. Well, what does that say about this particular democracy? America, I want you to know this. America, for the most part, is gone evil. No Build Back Better. Nothing to help those who in debt with schools. Nothing to allow for the health care crisis that exists, all the suffering and pain that others have to endure. Nah, America's gone evil. And yes, there are many, many good people in America, extremely good people, but you know what? Good just ain't good enough. I say that again, good just ain't good enough. Now, it appears that right now, on a moral stance, Ukraine has the moral right to be the leader of righteousness of the world. Because right now, Ukraine is standing up, being challenged by evil, being murdered by evil, and they still stand up for what's right. And all of the people of the rest of the world got all the armaments necessary to squash this earth to nothing. But they let one man over there with a little evil, and his what and well, the people don't trust him. They don't know what he's going to do, and so they will allow all of this death to continue because it might start a war. I can think of no other reason for the earth to end than standing up for mankind over evil. I can think of no other reason for earth to end than to stand up for love over evil. Can you think of a better way? I guess you can, because you're thinking if it comes to your door, then you'll be willing to do whatever is necessary. Just as Ukraine would be able to do if they had the same kind of weapons that these bullies got. The bullies got the weapons and they bully others, and others who got other bullies won't even come to their rescue. It's a crying shame, but our Father who rests inside of each of these individuals all over the earth, I know you've been asleep for so long, and there is not the kind of love that would awake you. And so evil tramples on humanity, just as the cattle tramples on the grass. But for the most part, the cattle benefit from the grass. But what benefit can evil have over trampling over these people? The only thing they're doing is their own destruction. So my prayer, dear God, in the bodies of these individuals, I ask that if it is not inappropriate against your will to just give a little life to those who can rise up. We don't need another Hitler to do what was done to the Jews, or white people to do what they've done to black people. We don't need that. And it appears, dear God, that according to the Spirit, that the only teacher of humanity is for them to suffer and suffer until they're at their last wit, when they can see that they are reaching out to mankind. It just ain't good enough. And they got to turn to you, who will empower them to resist all of the evil on the earth, to resist the bombs, to resist the fear of a big hand. Well, Lord, this is, if you had asked me, Eddie, what do you want? I would say, I want the Ukrainian people to stand up boldly, and not just stand up in such a way that the rest of the dark world can see your hand. I'm asking you, God, for a miracle. Yes, I'm asking you for a miracle. And the reason I want to ask you for a miracle is because people don't know you. And yes, there's some things we can all be frustrated about just based upon what we have been taught. Even what we have been taught has not been close to what you are about. But we got enough of that to be resentful of some other things. So what we need, dear God, is a miracle like now. We need you at the time when George Floyd was being murdered to save George Floyd. We need you at a time when America is being smothered to give her new life. We need for you to use this moment, if you will, in Ukraine to show the world that there is a God and it's not man. To use a miracle to show the world that bombs don't fear or put fear in those who are led by the Spirit of God. We need your power to just share with people what they read in a book, and that just ain't good enough. We need to know for truth. We look at the resources. We know we didn't do it, but people have told us all kinds of lies. You've sent all kinds of gifts to us on this earth through individuals that have been hijacked as soon as they got here and playing into the hands of the evil. We need a miracle, Father. A miracle, just to let the people who think they know you know that they don't know you, and at the same time give them an introduction into knowing you. Because as long as They don't know you. You know the end of that story. So I pray this in the name of love. Amen.